The future's knocking loud in Edmonton. But while a new prospect is starting to make some noise behind the scenes, trade rumors are buzzing all over the organization. And to make things even more interesting, some folks are saying the Oilers' golden era might already be behind us. Could big changes be on the horizon? If you bleed blue and orange, hit that subscribe button now. Let's hit 1,000 subs and show the strength of Edmonton's fanbase. We all know summer is usually a quiet time in the NHL, but that doesn't mean the Oilers' storylines dry up. Today, there's a name you might not have heard yet, but who could very well shake things up for the team down the line. Before we spill the beans, just remember, every NHL star started off as a prospect most folks overlooked or doubted. That's where the real fans come in, watching, cheering, and catching all the little moves that don't make the headlines. Stick with me for a few more seconds, because context is key. Over the last 5 drafts under Ken Holland, Edmonton only picked 2 players from the OHL, and we all know how deep that league runs with talent every year. But when Jeff Jackson stepped in as interim GM for the 2024 draft, things flipped. 4 of the 7 picks came straight from the OHL, including a guy who finally got his NHL shot after being passed over twice, Wakeley. This kid exploded in 2023-24 with 104 points. 39 goals included. Dan tore it up in the playoffs with 23 points over 16 games. Yet, he didn't hear his name called until the 6th round. Now, thanks to a new NCAA rule, he's headed to UMass-Lowell. The big question is, did the Oilers just uncover a hidden gem? Wakeley's the kind of player who's not afraid to get scrappy, battle for every puck, take a hit, dish one back, and play with heart. That grit fits right into Edmonton's DNA. Last year in the OHL, he cooled off a bit during the regular season, but then lit it up in the playoffs, leading the Barrie Colts with 24 points. That tells you he's a clutch player, someone who steps up when it counts. That's exactly what the Oilers need right now with his new NCAA opportunity. Wakeley's among the first CHL guys to go the college route after a full junior career. If he impresses early, the Oilers could easily lock him up with a pro contract next summer. So, Oilers fans, what do you think? Could Wakeley be Edmonton's next big surprise? Is this the name that'll quiet the doubters and wear the blue and orange with pride? If you liked this breakdown, share it on your socials. Drop your thoughts in the comments. And don't forget to subscribe so you never miss any Oilers updates. The Blue and Orange Nation is watching the future, and you're part of it. Now, what if I told you there's another name on the horizon that could shake everything you think you know about the Oilers' future? The next piece of news comes with behind-the-scenes details barely anyone's talking about, but it could flip the whole franchise upside down. Stay tuned, because those who know hockey know that big turns often start quietly, and this one's for the real insiders. Riding the roller coaster of emotions last playoffs, you know the road to the Stanley Cup is full of tough calls. And now, there's a new bombshell dropping behind the scenes here in Edmonton. The team's quietly restructuring, and a lot could change. Internal talks, NHL whispers, trade market moves, any of it could reshape the Oilers' future. The fan base better brace for what's coming. Since Stan Bowman took over as GM, his job's been clear: fix past mistakes, restock draft picks, build up young assets, and assemble a competitive squad without mortgaging the future. But that balance can break at any moment. Every fan knows the window to win doesn't stay open forever. Every year without the cup weighs heavier in the locker room, upstairs in management, and in the heart of every player wearing blue and orange. It feels like the organization's patience is running thin. Here's a kicker. Some of the Oilers' most promising youngsters might be on their way out. Yep, you heard that right. Players like Stuart Skinner, Matthew Savoy, Vasily Podkolzin, Wakeley, and Maxim Bariskin are reportedly on the trade radar, according to Alan Mitchell from The Athletic. Aside from draft picks, these guys are Edmonton's most valuable bargaining chips. The chance of a big shakeup before the 2026 trade deadline is gaining steam behind closed doors. Skinner's been the starter on a cheap contract and was a playoff standout. Savoy and Podkolzin are young talents who haven't cracked the main roster yet. So here's the question: is it worth giving them up now? Aki and Bereskin round out the Listra talent that hasn't been fully tapped but carries big market value. If management decides to go Elin again, they could be part of a package deal for veterans. But what do you say, fan? Would you trade a promising future for an immediate shot at the Stanley Cup? Or hold on to the youth core to build something solid down the road? This question's dividing fans and the front office alike. Things are heating up behind the scenes. And if you thought you'd heard it all, wait till you see what's next. Another move is being planned that's going to catch a lot of people off guard. And this time, it hits right at the heart of the roster. Stay patient and stay tuned. This next bomb could be bigger than anyone expects. You'll want to be here when it drops. Feels like just yesterday we celebrated that historic draft, the promise of a new era and hope reborn in Edmonton. Arrival of our number 97. But time flies. It's been 10 seasons since Connor McDavid hit the NHL ice. 10 years. Now he's closing in on 30. And even though he's still the league's best player, some questions are starting to knock on the door end. You can't just ignore them. In that time, McDavid's done the impossible, smashing every expectation: 712 games, 361 goals, 1,082 points, and a shelf full of awards. But there's one trophy still missing. You know exactly which one. Yeah, the Stanley Cup is still out of reach for McDavid, and that's where the worry kicks in. No matter how brilliant he is, the years add up, bodies change, and there's less room for error. Does he still have the time and team to get it done? The 2022-23 season was McDavid's peak: 64 goals, 153 points, unreal numbers. Since then, he's still putting up solid stats, but he's not quite the unstoppable force. Last year, 100 points in 67 games. Not bad at all. But is he pacing himself for the playoffs? Or maybe, fans, are we starting to see the first signs that his peak might be behind him? He's still the best in the NHL, no doubt, but the gap between him and guys like McKinnon isn't as wide anymore. And with a roster still missing some pieces, can he carry the team again? The truth is, time's not on our side. McDavid could follow a Crosby path, shining into his late 30s maybe. But without a solid team around him, the Stanley Cup window in Edmonton is closing. So the real question is, are the Oilers doing enough to not waste this generational talent? Now, I want to hear from you. Do you think McDavid still has time to bring the cup home to Edmonton? Drop your thoughts below. If this video hit home, share it with your fellow Oilers fans. Hit like and subscribe to keep building our community of NHL diehards. Let's ride this wave all the way to the top.